Please rewind this cassette.
I'm 3 beers in, so I'm hella good.
All right.
Have you seen this before, Slav?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the movies you would have seen because you don't see a lot of stuff like classics. But I feel like Toxic Avenger's one that might have snuck in your asshole at some point.
Well, because I was on a bunch of servers that watched movies like this, and I could have watched it at some point. We'll find out soon.
It's a pretty significant movie. I mean, it's Lloyd Kaufman. It's the first Troma movie, a big movie for independent cinema. Because, I mean, I generally think if this movie doesn't get made, we don't kind of get like subgenres of independent cinema going into the 90s and 2000s. Because I think he made this for, I want to say it was like $100,000.
Oh yeah, the days where you could just do that.
And it made like $1 million. And started Troma.
Wow.
I mean, he was kind of a Roger Corman of his own. I mean, he like started a lot of guys. James Gunn started at Troma. Trey Parker and Matt Stone's first movie got released at Troma, Cannibal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's a pretty brilliant guy, and I genuinely think out of all the Troma movies, this is the best one. Sergeant Kabuki, Toxic Citizen, the fourth one's pretty good. But this one generally, like for being a dumb low budget comedy, they did a pretty good job, and it's kind of one of the early superhero movies too, because that's what it is. It is a superhero movie.
Hey, let's go frame. Leave that in. I want him to hear that when he watches
come on.
it. He just throws his phone down. He's like, no.
Yeah, I'll probably have to censor some stuff because I'm pretty sure there's nudity in this movie at some point.
Oh, what a shame.
I know. Well, that's the thing. Toxie, he starts dating a blind girl throughout the series because she can't see that he's a disgusting monster. And they have sex in the series.
Lovely.
Oh, it's kind of like Fantastic Four.
God, what a great era, like when people were doing these useless exercises.
Yeah.
I thought they were in shape, but everybody was just on cocaine and not eating. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be this way, but I really love the main character's just a mentally handicapped guy.
That's me.
Oh, yeah, I guess Lloyd didn't direct this. I thought Lloyd Kaufman directed this. He just produced it, wrote on it. There goes the film knowledge on me. All credits lost, even though you know Your Movie Sucks has never seen this. I really like Toxic Avenger.
Yo, don't do that. That's mean.
I love 80s movies bullies, these just like psychopaths that hate everyone that's different.
Well, I mean,
I genuinely don't think those people existed. I think there were some people like that in the 80s, but I don't think these like cartoon characters existed in real life. But
well, Pat, they would have had to because the 60s stopped. You know, all the random, serial killers were put in prison.
That's true.
So, they had to just be bullies now. It's like, well, shit, I can't kill people. Let's just bully the shit out of them.
There's the new remake of this Steve Pink made that never got released.
Oh, no, it got a release date for this year.
Oh, it finally did? Okay, because I know
finally did.
Peter Dinklage and stuff, and it was Jacob
Elijah Wood and Peter Dinklage.
Jacob Tremblay, too, I believe, from Room.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they made that like 2 years ago.
2023 is when it came out in like sometime like November, like fall.
Yay! See, that's funny. Like
that's me in traffic.
He's stressing me, Julie. He's stressing me. Well, what I love about this concept, I kind of just like the virtuosity of it, the verisimilitude. There's like we're gonna make a low budget movie instead of making a slasher like a lot of people were making at the time to have sexuality and boobs. They're like, we're gonna have a mentally handicapped guy fall into a toxic waste and become a superhero monster and fight people and get rid of his bullies. It's like there's something so creative about it. It's a gonzo.
Mm-hmm.
And that really is Troma in a nutshell. Oh, lag already? Okay. Thank God.
What's up?
Hey, Dragon.
Oh, I didn't see who that was. I was like, what the fuck? God, you could tell this 80s workout equipment. Like, that is a completely useless piece of equipment right there. That does absolutely nothing except put, like, stress on your shoulders.
Isn't a remake of this movie coming out this year?
Yeah, we just talked about it like a minute ago. The Steve Pink one.
It just got a distributor. Yep.
Oh yeah, it premiered at a festival in 2023.
Yeah, and I was
Gosh.
hearing good things too. I'd heard that it was like a positive reception.
I was just curious because it's like positive reception. Netflix didn't want to distribute it, or fucking Amazon.
I guess they think Toxic Avenger's just really niche, which I guess it is. Like, my generation kind of knows it, and Gen X, but I don't think it's, like, culturally stayed very relevant as a...
So they're just trying to appeal to people who don't go to movies?
I guess so. I don't really know, because I do think about it. Toxic Avenger, like, when I was young, it was, like, a thing. Like, the series, like, I rented the series, like, Toxic Citizen with my we would watch those movies. No, this guy's great. It's like he's just always turned up. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these
This
people?
guy does a line of coke
Now
before each take.
chews and womps. Oh, they're talking about people that are worth... This is Death Race 2000. We should do Death Race 2000 some night. That one's wild. Sylvester Stallone plays Frankenstein.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's good.
Yeah, you hit people with your cars and get points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny. My dad would tell me about these movies when I was a kid, and they always sounded great. I didn't realize they were low-budget exploitation films. He'd be like, there's this great movie called Rollerball, you know, and he would explain. I go, that sounds like the coolest fucking movie ever. And then you see it, and you're like, oh, this was some B movie. Like, when he first explained to me the premise of Death Race 2000...
It's like in your mind like a 2000s movie.
Yeah, it's
but
like
then
Star Wars. I was like, oh my god, and Sylvester Stallone's in it? And then you watch it, and it looks like it cost 10 grand. And you're like, oh, that's not what I was thinking Death Race 2000 was going to be. Yeah, I don't think the boomer dads got that when they would explain a movie. They made it sound...
that was awesome to them.
Yeah, I get it.
I wonder
how
do they think of movies now? I wonder.
Because
Just
like
everything looks amazing. Like it's a piece of shit movie, but it looks good. Ergo, it is good.
The standards were a lot. I think they run over a watermelon in this scene. It's like his head, and it's a watermelon. Well, this kind of invented that. I think the thing Troma contributed was to make something look cheap and fake on purpose. I don't really know if that existed for Troma, which is a kind of millennial meme humor. I think they called it Sweded, where you try to make stuff look fake on purpose. I don't really know if that was the thing before Troma. Maybe Monty Python, I guess, like him smacking the coconuts and Holy Grail.
That's like it's like a Mystery Science Theater-esque thing. It's charming.
Yeah.
But then Channel Awesome and then like Linkara do it. I'm just like I hate that.
That's the problem, yeah. It eventually became... Like here when his head gets run over, it's really funny. Yeah, it's clearly like... I love the chicks are into it. They're like, yeah, run that fucker's head over.
They're just like all psychos. What is it with this town?
Man, this Linklater movie is wild.
That's what I was thinking. Yes.
Dazed and Confused is not what I thought it was going to be. No, the chicks get out and take pictures? What the fuck is going on?
This is like a Lynch movie to an extent.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
true.
Like
This is Blue Velvet. No, that's genuinely
Yeah.
scary. Their eyes are popping out of their heads. They're so excited about this dead body.
You're gonna get out of the car. You're gonna take pictures. Action.
Seesaw, this is why you can't get laid.
Yeah,
doing it all
don't run
wrong,
kids
baby.
over.
Yeah.
Shit, I better get started. Bruh.
What the fuck? Man, goddamn 80s chicks with that hair. I know we talked about it last time, but I'm so jealous of the guys back then. Because you know these girls had no standards.
Yeah.
How far are y'all into this movie?
It just started.
Yeah, I'd say 15 minutes at the most, maybe.
So there's no accident yet?
No, he hasn't become the Toxic Avenger, unfortunately. We haven't got to a superhero origin story. We're in the phase where the main character's not in the movie, and it's about these psychopath bullies.
It's setting it up properly.
Yeah, you got to establish the world of the villains before you introduce the hero. I guess that is kind of clever, you know, like...
Was this before or after Revenge of the Nerds?
I think after. I think Revenge of the Nerds is 84, and I'm pretty sure this came out after 1984. I want to say this came out in like 1986 or 88 or something like that.
No.
Why is he smashing his face up against the window like that? I mean, I can get the guys being bullies. What's unique about this is that the women that the women are also evil.
So is this basically gonna be about a wimpy guy getting revenge?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you know, Frame's origin story. It's a little Peter Parker-esque. It's very like. I mean, I don't want to say my dad used to describe this movie to me like you just said a wimpy guy. My dad used to just say it was about a retarded guy. So that's what I thought it was. I'm watching it now and I'm like, I don't really know if he's retarded. My dad would be like, no, it's about a retarded guy that turns into the dog's retarded. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, maybe. Maybe my father was right.
This is a...
He seems a little simple. I want chicken nuggets.
He's got the simple Jack teeth.
You make my pee-pee feel good.
So
Never go full retard.
Wait, so Peter Dinklage plays the character in the remake?
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I
I
heard his part was pretty small, though.
He's the main character.
No, I heard it
Peter
was
Dinklage?
I heard it was a very small part. Heard his screen time was pretty short.
You could say it was a short stature.
Yeah. Too little
my God.
in the movie.
Hmm.
These
Do you
guys are
think
just driving with random toxic waste.
Do you think
It's like,
he
you know,
wishes he was in Snow White?
What is that? A blonde Pedro Pascal? What is
yeah,
that?
He could have played all 7 of the dwarves.
That would kind of be funny if he just mocapped all of them.
Yeah, like the
I
guy who
wish that
played the
would-
Oompa Loompas and and Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. He played like all of them.
All 100 of them.
What does his shirt say? I haven't actually read his shirt.
If you can read my shirt.
Tromaville Health Club. There we go.
Oh, Tromaville. That's funny. Wow, they're doing the MCU build and universe shit before anybody.
This is really good acting.
Yeah, no. It's a good movie, man. I'm so surprised. I think first of all, it's like, because I saw like talks he said some other ones first and they had porn in it, and I was like, this is pretty cool. When I was like 12. And I never saw the first one for a while, and then I watched it later, and I was like, oh, this is actually like, okay.
I'm surprised they haven't made like a Wojak of this dude.
We can
Well, let
take
me
a
guess. Is
cool
this some
look.
kind of prank?
Good guess. Very astute. Oh, that's right. They put him in like a tutu, I think, and then Toxic Avenger, I think, wears a tutu.
I'm the Toxic Avenger, Dr. Han.
He does look. I'm the Toxic Avenger, Dr. Han. You're not anymore. Oh man, fuck. The fucking tan lines. I don't know what it is. There's something about it with the paleness.
So Pat, did all
Oh,
so Pat, did all women in the 80s look like that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just the women they cast in movies. I wasn't alive in the 80s. So I don't know. But whenever I see an 80s movie and I see the women, it's like, why were the chicks hotter? You don't see women that look like that anymore. They don't have their hair all big like that.
No, it's all just straight down, and they're all
Yeah, the makeup.
wear like
And they have the
Yeah.
bodies look different. I don't know why the bodies look different too. It's like, well, the body type could have changed that much in fucking like 2 generations,
Mhm.
but
well, see that's why RFK's in office, dude.
animal.
wait, what? The lights off when that happened?
Man, even the
Yeah.
fat chick's laughing at him.
I think he was kissing its asshole. These shots are actually pretty horrifying.
I know it's
Yeah.
fun.
It's like a Scorsese movie all of a sudden.
So, if this was related to Troma, was James Gunn involved in this by any
No,
chance?
this was
No.
way before that era. This is like early. This is the first Troma. You can see it's a different person.
Yeah.
And he just falls into
Why
the
is there
toxic pit.
even toxic stuff, though, at a pool?
They were just pulling on up with the toxic waste when he...
So was his plan just to like hit the pavement? Was that his?
Yeah, I don't know what his plan to escape was, to jump out and die.
Well, he was so horrified.
He
Well, he
tried
was
to
so
die, but
he'd
he's
rather-
still fucked up.
Well,
They're
didn't you say
coming
that
out
this
and
guy-
laughing as he's covered in radioactive waste. He's like,
Oh
that
my
guy-
god, you're gonna die.
I think about that
Oh,
scene
that's
in
so funny.
RoboCop all the time where the guy gets hit by the waste and it's like... and then gets hit by the car and he explodes. Hey, what's going on over here? Yeah, he's faking that he's in toxic waste and his body is... If this guy
He's
can't take a
mutating.
joke, he's a fucking asshole.
the-
I mean, they were
This
just
guy's the
running
problem,
over...
not me.
They were just running over people's heads earlier. Why is she concerned?
Yeah.
He's not become the Human Torch. Velvet's on fire! I really like the shot composition. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, the
The
slow-mo,
motion, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where all the budget went. Yeah, like, that's a crazy shot.
Mm-hmm. No, Aunt May.
Yeah.
Nothing's fine.
Are you changing? Yep, big change.
Aunt May, I don't think you're having grandchildren.
What's funny, this is almost setting it up like it's going to be a horror movie, like he's going to turn into a monster to get revenge, but he turns into like a superhero. It really does
That's
subvert your
awesome.
expectations, because right now, if you're watching this, you've never seen this feels like this is going into like schlocky horror movie territory.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, it's going to be body horror, and he's going to go kill all of his bullies and get revenge on them, but he actually turns into like a good guy that...
That's the cool thing, is he turns into an actual superhero, like you said. He's not
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
But they're mixing that with like the freaky body horror monster stuff of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something about the photography back then, like how this and Return of the Living Dead looked. There's a certain kind of lighting that
You're gonna say Return of the Jedi.
it's still transforming.
that you just don't see anymore. No, I'm not all right. In fact, I'm pretty not all right. Oh, he's getting boobies.
No, they're pecs, Pat. They're pecs.
Oh,
Yeah, they can't be boobs. There's no tan lines.
that's true. That has been. What the fuck?
oh, it's Conehead.
This really is Lynchian.
Yeah.
I love Toxic Avenger. It's my favorite movie.
Mr. Lynch, I believe that.
It inspired me greatly.
Greatly, he says it loudly. That'd be so funny if, like, somebody who met him, like Louis C.K., comes out and says that. Like, yeah, when we were on the set for my show, David said he loved Toxic Avenger and that was his favorite movie.
I mean, these shots right here, I mean, these aren't that far off from Blue Velvet. No pissing this Thursday.
What, Pat, what am I watching?
The greatest movie ever made. I don't know. A Key and Peele sketch. I mean, that's the thing about Troma. It's like full on schlock, but it's like self-aware schlock. I mean, that's what every Troma movie is. It's like, you know, trying to be so bad that it's good, sort of thing. Philosophy.
Oh, you mean like Red Letter Media, but actually successful?
Yeah, for sure. They're very Troma. There's no question.
So,
Just pulls a gun on him.
Red Media had been decades earlier. You're saying they would have made stuff like this?
I think they tried to make stuff like this now.
Yeah.
What, didn't they make a movie about a guy who becomes a gorilla man?
Yeah, I mean, I even think some of the Plinkett sketches have elements of this kind of stuff in them.
Oh,
Hey,
definitely. Like,
Hey, mister, that movie was
Like
really
how-
bad.
you mean like how Plinkett's basically, it's kind of implied he's like a, what is it, a serial killer or kidnapper?
Yeah.
I don't think that's implied. I think
Yeah,
he
I
was.
think it's literal interpretation of the work.
It's kind of weird how that's never brought up in the Half in the Bag reviews. It's in Half in the Bag, it's just Rich playing an old guy.
Yeah, it's weird. They were like so edgy when they were in their 20s when they were making stuff, and they're like, yeah, we didn't do that. I didn't have a girl locked in my basement watching Attack of the Clones.
I wonder, like, whose place did they film that at? Like, did they make that a set at all, or was that just?
I
the
don't
apartment
know.
one
The
of them
Plinkett
lived in?
videos are kind of like unsolved mysteries in themselves.
Mhm.
There's a bit of like, how did this happen? What were you?
Well, I think the special thing about the Plinker reviews is they basically transcend reviews. It transcends simply being
Oh
reviews.
shit! Here comes Avenger.
Yeah, this is the first Avenger movie. He still has the tutu.
Dun 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 dun.
You're not gonna shoot this cop's dick off on my watch.
Yeah, you
It's
don't see
kinda-
that shit in the MCU.
It's kind of a hard movie to make jokes about because it's a joke in itself.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm going to make fun of the Toxic Avenger. It's like, well, it's kind of... Could that be the O'Shaughnessy boy back from school? What?
What the hell is this?
Yeah, it's just we need B-roll. There's one scene in this movie. The best scene in this movie is amazing, where he fights guys in a restaurant. It's so good, like in a McDonald's. That's the scene I remember the most. Wow. Oh my god! Fuck yeah! Oh man, this is
So he
badass.
becomes a disformed Hulk monster guy.
Yeah, he's basically like a toxic waste super strength monster. I like the cop covering up his junk, like he's so traumatized by watching Toxic punch a guy in the balls.
So Pat, have you ever tried to do this to somebody in real life?
Oh, every Friday.
Yeah.
Every day of my life.
No, when you
Some
think
of these
about it, it is
effects are
kinda,
pretty legit, though. Honestly, these
Oh,
are pretty
yeah.
good effects.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look bad.
I'll
Oh,
work
the
for no
mop.
play, but I'll get exposure.
Oh, the mop is a weapon. Yeah, great idea. Time to clean up these streets. I've
Like
heard
Pat,
that.
or
I've heard that before.
yeah, Chad said he'd be falling asleep to this. Yeah, right.
Yeah, this would wake me up. But he has a voice too. He's like, "It's fine, don't worry." He's like intelligent and soft-spoken.
I couldn't control myself. Forgive me.
No, that's part of the juxtaposition too. He's a
That's like the greatest radio voice. It's just Orson Welles.
Yeah, he has like a really deep voice. Sorry about that. I didn't mean for it to work out that way. Hey, he's a fucking Nazi.
It's just Elon Musk.
Yeah, if you do that, you're automatically a Nazi. So.
This toxic Avenger.
Yeah, this. He was like a toxic Avenger, I think, and
What are we?
He was
What are we?
avenging.
Some kind of toxic Avenger?
monster mob something. Yeah.
What are we, some kind of toxic Avenger?
I wish more movies just stole that from Suicide Squad. Just had that dumbass line. Every movie.
Look at how fat that guy is.
Yeah, no, he was eating people. Look how bald that guy is.
He just looks like a fucking cartoon character. I live in the
Yeah.
South. I shouldn't be too.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
this is just everyone who lives around you in Alabama, you white trash hick. This is an average trip to the fucking Whataburger.
Like he only lives for like 5 more years from this movie.
Mama, can we get a milkshake?
Two best producers.
Knuckles and
He's
nipples.
sweating. He's like just sweating.
He's just are they handing him food?
There's better be hamburgers in the bag.
I swear to God, if he just starts eating out of that goddamn, what's in that bag? Shit.
They forgot the fries. They
I
didn't
love
put the
how
fries
this is
in the
kind of
bag.
shot like Zapruder footage or like Bigfoot footage. Whenever you see Toxic Avenger,
Mm-hmm.
it's shot like kind of out of focus. Ugh, these '80s women are driving me. I'm like frustrated every time. My whole life as a kid, even I played the Friday the 13th video game, and you're like getting with one of those chicks, you're like, God damn, what happened to these women? And they always seem DTF every time. It just seemed like a constant world of DTF.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even think of it. Like, that's the world they present, where it's like, yeah, I'll have sex with you. I don't care.
Like he's just like hobbling around.
I like how she's
He's just walking around looking to avenge people.
she's flexing for no reason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, Lynch reference.
Yo. See, this is why I love it, because it references me.
Wow, they're a fan of me like I am of them.
Says everything he's thinking out loud.
Amazing. Oh, my impression's always the return. I had a dream about Monica Bellucci.
What the hell was that?
Wow, The Elephant Man and this are the same movie. Poor Toxic Avenger.
I like this montage. That was neat.
Yeah, no, the cuts are really nice, the jump cuts.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really do a lot of montage or jump cuts like that anymore.
Yeah, no, it's pretty efficient.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I kind of respect about Troma, especially this way, like the storytelling sort of elements of it. It kind of plays into comic books or old B movies. If
Well,
anything, it's an homage to a certain kind of, 1950s monster movie mixed with sort of absurdist comedies and stuff that had developed throughout the 70s and 80s. It's kind of National Lampoon or a Zucker Brothers movie mixed with one of those.
Mommy.
EC Comics or something, or Invaders from Mars type things.
Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff, it's like, I feel like I could have shot this, or I could have convinced some people to do this with me. Other times, like the very beginning, it's like, I don't know if I could have organized all those people, you question yourself.
That's the inspiration for this, and you got to think this even, I think, kind of predates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a little bit, but like it's sort of the idea of
It's
like
run and gun, do it yourself kind of
well,
thing.
have such a quiche idea too, have such an absurd idea, have something so original that'll make you stand out, be different.
Yeah.
That's really the lesson from this movie. Like no one had this idea before this came out. This is an insane idea for a movie. I mean,
I don't know who these guys. Oh, whoa! Look at that! It's the creator of Sopranos. David Chase. What's he in this movie?
I thought you were talking that he was the Jewish guy that works with Tony.
Quick tangent. Isn't Jay? Oh wait, no. I was thinking of the Breaking Bad guy because he's making a sci-fi
back then,
show.
to make a movie, you could just get some extras with some coke and like $500. Like, no way can I get this many people to show up in one of my fucking movies now.
Is that the A-Team van? What the fuck?
I want to go to the Mexican Palace where they have samurai swords. Oh
You
my
sure?
god, yes. If this is the scene I think it is, this is by far like the best part of the movie. This scene's fucking amazing. Well, but this is just like to kind of get a little tangent. It was like these movies mattered as much to me as watching like the foreign art house films, like watching stuff like Sleepaway Camp and movies like this late at night on cable with your friends.
You did a review of the Sleeping Cave. Sleeping Cave or
Sleepaway
Camp?
Yeah, I love Sleepaway Camp. All three of them, the original trilogy. But like these kinds of movies, these low budget movies, these schlock movies or B movies, and a lot of them are good too. But they were just as relevant as watching like Fellini or Bergman or any of them because I think they come from the same place.
That's a good way to put that.
I really think they do. I don't think this is that far off from like, what those guys were doing with their low budgets in other countries. And it was just the American equivalent, which is going to have this sort of pop sensationalism and pulp. But it's sort of like just make the thing to make it. The act of its creation is art in itself. And the content is really irrelevant at the end of the day. Well, because that's really what it used to be. It was like a blue collar thing. It was like you just, you didn't have to get too much money together to make a movie and get it distributed. And you just kind of had to have a gimmick back then or figure something out. And it's just what's missing a lot now is like there's not unique stuff coming out and people taking risks or giving anything because
it's more like calculated too.
Yeah, it's all corporate now. This isn't corporate at all. Nothing about this is corporate. Like, to me, this is like watching Godard or, like, because it's a weird tone. It feels like a different place and it takes you to a different place. And then you start to think about the possibilities of things in your own sort of perspective.
Oh, even the choice to like rob a small restaurant, it's kind of like a...
Oh, he shot Kale. No, not Kale.
Almost say that's like kind of exemplifies this being like an indie film.
Yeah, well, even that guy having like half his face painted black and the way the shotguns, it's just weird shit.
Yeah.
It's stuff.
I'd expect them more out of like Mad Max than.
Yeah,
modern
George
day.
Miller's a good comparison. This has a little bit of a Mad Max.
Yeah.
Mad Max movies now cost $150 though.
I've always been my
Million.
thing about the modern Mad Max is people are great. I'm like, no, I don't think a Mad Max movie should cost $150. I think that's insane. I think that takes away part of. Oh my god!
Oh shit!
You should, dog.
Whoa.
The way it slid across the floor.
What? Did he shoot a dog?
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's definitely
That's
something you
that's
don't
like
see in
exploitation
movies.
shit. I don't see that in movies.
Yeah, that's definitely something you don't see in movies. Because nobody typically wants a
No,
dog
Oh,
horde.
this scene's pretty fucking crazy.
Let's
Like,
just went to like an 11,
he's
like out of
gonna
nowhere.
he's gonna anal rape a blind woman, and he shot her fucking assistant's dog to help her. Well, you know what? If Toxie's got to be a superhero, you gotta have bad guys. I
For
did
sure.
forget though. These movies do get pretty like that's kind of a Troma thing too. Like there's kind of nothing off limits. So the guy's fighting in this. That guy only had one arm in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why he was hitting him with the one arm. That's how they did this scene.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say they also remind me of Death Wish too.
He starts beating the shit out of him with his own arm. This is like Akira right now.
This is better than the whole MCU. Holy shit.
I love a lot of these guys know martial arts and shit too, but Toxie's just too much of a badass. There's a little Frank Miller to this, honestly, with some of the villains.
Yo!
Yeah, that wasn't bad, the photography with the choreography being mixed together.
The shot of the guy behind the counter, that was awesome. They had a great editor, Jesus.
Yeah, the editor is honestly doing a lot of heavy lifting for this movie, because I don't know how well this footage would work, but it's cut together very well.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, I wonder how much of this they storyboarded. Because, like, a lot of this just
they
seems
didn't have a
planned.
lot of money. You're right,
Yeah.
so they had to like be very precise in what they had. Yeah, the cuts on all the timing with the stuff is really good.
Yeah, it seems very purposeful at times. I think the editor definitely is helping,
Yeah,
but a lot of the stuff does seem planned.
yeah, like honestly, every cut here and shot is, I don't want to say Jackie Chan, but it's pretty like good. This is pretty well cut together, like fight scene. Take that, you fucking pussy.
It just immediately went right back up.
God, you know the guy getting his ass kicked by Tux Avenger, he got paid like $500 to be in this movie. This poor bastard.
It's a great weekend, though. How much money did they have to get permits to like shoot here?
They probably didn't pay anything. I mean, I don't, like I said, this movie had like $100,000 budget, so.
Was it like a community like event for everybody?
I think back then you could just go to a place and be like, "Hey, can we film here?" I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was a different. I think
Like,
people
what's your
don't I
profits?
don't think people try that enough. I've made some indie movies, and I have friends like, you can get the location. I've literally walked in the place and like, "Can I come here in this afternoon and film here?" And some places will say yes.
Yeah.
People just don't think to do that. They think like, "Oh, I got to go get permits and shit." And it's like, that's not how these motherfuckers thought.
Yeah.
Like I met the lead actor from Basket Case, the Frank Henenlotter film, and there's a part where he's running naked through New York, and I was like, "You didn't have any permits for that. You just got naked and ran through the streets." And he's like, "That's exactly what happened." He's like, "Frank got in a car with the camera, and we just filmed in New York." And he's like, "We didn't have permits for anything."
That he ran naked in New York?
Yeah, he has this dream sequence where he imagines himself naked. So the actor in real life just got naked and ran, and they just filmed him in a car.
Seems like he'd get arrested for that.
Well, this is like
dude, it's New York.
It's 1980. They're not gonna arrest you for running around like that's a different time.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
New York in like the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, the deep fryer. I'm so fried right now.
That's you, Pat.
Oh,
Right there.
this
I'm
kind of
having a hard
reminds
time
me
doing
of.
a commentary because I'm just so enthralled with the movie. I'm sucked into
I kn-
it. I'm like
Yeah.
in
I
the
know.
world of toxic. I haven't seen this in so long. Where I'm
Puts
like,
him in the
I've never
oven.
seen it at all.
yeah, this isn't like when we did you know,
Yo,
Bloodsport, where it's like, oh, this is funny. I'm just like, fuck, this movie rules.
so,
I'm just impressed by it.
So this is where Scorsese got this for Goodfellas. Puts the guy in the oven.
If you send an email to that kid's fucking house again, I love Paulie's in that scene from
Yeah.
fucking Thread. He pulls him out and he goes, "You fucking scumbag." That's the only disappointment, is that he's not in Goodfellas more. It's like, can we hang out more with these guys from like the 40s part? This shit's great.
Oh yeah. The first half of Goodfellas is just too
Oh,
good.
it's like 11 out. Scorsese had to stop because it was too good. He knew it.
It
I was
was
like,
too
it's too good. It was like, you're touching. No, that's the thing. It's like the first 20 minutes is unbelievable how entertaining it is. I could rewatch that part like.
Where were the fucking cops that just realized that, guys? Response time. Like, dear lord.
The fuck is that?
Just-
The Twin Tower. A plane crashes in the back.
Tony Soprano's driving home right now.
No, it's such a funny idea that he meets a blind girl that falls in love with him because he can't see him. There's a funny part in the fourth movie, Toxie Citizen, because they're trying to have a baby, and he comes home to their trailer and has sex with her, and she goes, "Oh, Toxie, in my eyes, you're the most beautiful man," and it shows her perspective, and it's like this supermodel surfer-looking guy, and then it cuts to Toxie, and he has like fucking waste coming out of his mouth and stuff. It's a really funny joke. No, the girlfriend's really endearing character in the series.
they just need like really wide angles for a lot of these shots on their faces. That'd make it even better.
Yeah, it looks like they have the same lens for every shot.
Yeah.
I see very few lens changes for perspective.
They just need like some Terry Gilliam-esque shots for this.
Yeah, I feel like they really didn't have like any kind of like large lenses to get a deep focus on all these shots.
Olio, you know how Olio, you mentioned how basically something about just the act of creating the thing being the art itself over the content.
Yeah.
I sometimes feel that way when I draw.
I
Like
try
it's like
to draw now, yeah. I've talked to friends
it's
about that, where I don't like, I
it's
kind of
like
give
a-
up on making movies, because I'm like, well, I can draw and do other things. I can, like, to get the feeling.
Yeah, it does feel like Zen at times, is how I would describe it.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, well, you're not, well, because you get abstractions in your head. That's all art really is. You get an emotional abstraction. And you're upset when you can't make art, especially when you want to make movies or something. Because you just want to see that thing. If you could give it to somebody else, like, hand it over and they could create it and then you could experience it, because you're a fan, too. It's not just selfishly you wanting your ego to, like, be, you know, stroked, or you make a lot of money. You just want this thing to exist. But then other things that don't require all the means. But film used to have a little bit about that. Like, this is a drawing. This is a, you know, underground art show. You know, this is a punk rock band of a movie, you know, and that used to be kind of a counterculture of cinema, but now all the fucking normies are in it. They pretend that stuff that's coming out now is counterculture, but it's really just a subsect of what's already been corporatized. Even the indie and art house films today are corporate films.
A24 is a corporation.
Yeah, wearing a Halloween mask.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you take it off like the Scooby-Doo gang and like, wait a minute, you're that corporation guy.
Well, it's like they're making their first $100 million movie. I'm like, that's not indie.
No, and the young directors that come out that make something kind of they don't get work. The doors are closed.
Yeah,
there's not new filmmakers. Like, name like a 25-year-old, 30-year-old.
Whenever we do get a new filmmaker, it's either they get picked up on a Marvel film or some other IP film, and
like, this doesn't exist anymore. Like Lloyd, I think the closest thing we have to something like this is what Jason Blum sort of did, but like what Lloyd Kaufman did here. You know, like, he built like an empire out of this kind of stuff. There used to be guys like this, and they were John Waters. You know, they were counterculture people.
What about
but they
James?
were artists. They were valid artists.
What about James Wan when he made the first Saw?
I think Saw's a great example of that.
Yeah, because
of like having nothing and turning it into something and then it becoming a
I had seen the first Saw not too long ago.
It's really good.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the movies before, and I thought it was just going to be torture porn.
No,
But
the first
the
one
first
isn't.
movie's like very good.
It's a
Yeah,
genuinely good thriller. I have no problem saying Saw
yeah.
1's a classic.
Oh yeah, like
No,
so
Lee
I'm.
Winnell. Lee Winnell's great in the movie too, oddly enough, as an
Oh yeah.
actor. No, Saw 1's really impressive. It's like, hey, how do we make a movie no money? All right, it all takes place in a bathroom. And you just
Oh
gotta
yeah.
build a world.
And you have like the occasionally show stuff outside it,
yeah,
and how it all builds up.
yeah, tenacity, man. I mean, this is what I thought. Because it was two sides. You either think back in the day when I was young, you thought, okay, I'm either gonna like end up in Hollywood and make these big movies, or I'm gonna, be Sam Raimi or make stuff like this. And now it's like the doors are closed both ways. It's like
Well, like the
now it's
thing
like
with
be a
Sam Raimi is
TikToker.
even people like Sam Raimi got to make the big movie eventually,
No,
but
I'm just
now
saying there's
it's
no market now to even make like the low budget movie
oh
independently.
yeah,
That really
Like
doesn't exist anymore.
YouTube should be that though.
It should
yeah.
be. It just never has become that. I agree. It should be though. I thought that for years. Like, why isn't YouTube like the new indie cinema?
Yo.
No, this is fucking crazy. Oh my god, that's up there with like some of the best Jason. Oh my god.
Dear Lord.
No, whoever did the makeup effects on this.
We're gonna look it up later.
Seriously, this is
See what he went on
this
to
is
do.
like some Tom Savini level shit in some of these moments. It's really
Oh, yeah.
impressive.
Mm-hmm.
No, huh.
Because you could
Oh,
tell
here
you
you-
could tell they had a meeting. They're like, "What do we have? We can get some attractive women. We can get gore effects and makeup, and we have like 3 locations. We can sell this movie."
That's me.
These women are just always horny.
What the fuck is she doing?
For no,
She's
yeah.
like-
What is going on? What? Yeah.
Why is the pool like that? What
I
the-
don't know why. Yeah, why is it boiling with?
I love the lighting though. That's awesome.
No, it's honestly
Why
pretty.
is
Some nice looking stuff here. The shadow on the wall.
Well, it's with the orange and the blue are contrasting too from the wall and the
I
actual light.
agree. This honestly
That's
looks
awesome.
pretty good. Like when he's walking. Like if this was a horror movie,
Mm-hmm.
this could work as a scary scene in a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, kind of makes me think of Frankenstein or Michael Myers.
Yeah, for sure. Michael Myers.
Hey, what are you doing?
This is just the scene where he has the sheet over his head in Halloween.
You gotta pull that Elephant Man joke. Oh, it's the first time we get to see him too. It's the reveal.
That's cool. How far are we in?
I'd imagine
Yeah,
pretty
perfect,
far.
perfect
What
part
is
to
he
show
doing
that.
now?
Yeah, 50 minutes in. It is funny. He does look like Jason in the first Nightmare movie when he's the little kid. You got a hot ass. Oh, he does say hot ass. I'm as clever as the writer of this movie.
Who's she? Wait, who is she?
They're just people that like threw him in the toxic waste and bullied him, and he's getting revenge on them now.
Okay.
Patrick Bateman.
Yeah. Get in the car.
It won't be like last time. That is not a 12-year-old. I like the white pimp in a limo.
In a limo too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the driver. It's
Yeah, all these white guys pimping 12-year-old. What's it, a clown car?
a clown car, yes.
Get it, boys!
Sick 'em.
This is the fight from Clockwork Orange.
Me and me Droog's gonna rough you up.
Hey, Billy! Oh, shit.
Dumbass.
I hate when that happens. I like the Toxie.
Oh,
He not only
why
has
was
super
he-
strength, he knows how to fight too. He has like martial arts.
There's one thing I'm wondering. Why did he suddenly decide to fight crime before going on his revenge thing?
Someone had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone had to do it.
Let me take this 12-year-old home.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear tutus.
Yeah. Okay, now, limo driver, you work for me. Yeah.
He is still wearing a tutu.
Yeah, no, the tutu he falls into, he has the whole time. It's the tutu and the mop.
Oh hell yeah, let's go.
Oh man, 2-for-1. Man, the cops in this town suck.
They really do.
Like, these kids would have got hit by this goddamn car.
Let's just sit in the middle of the street, though. I mean, they kind of deserved it. Let's
That's
be
true.
real. Like,
Yeah, the
even
world
if they
probably
actually
would
have
have
to
been
sit in the
better off.
street.
The world really did need those kids to grow up. That's what I love is that once you see him and he does stuff, he starts doing like friendly things for the community, but he looks like this fucking disgusting monster.
Yeah.
That's such a funny.
He's opening jar.
That's like, it's such a funny juxtaposition.
Mm-hmm. It's already popped.
Everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
He's had to do it. Oh, my bad. I'm an idiot.
Oh, that's pretty clever. They're showing the cut with the kids explaining.
Yeah. Yeah, for a second there, I was confused. I was like, did he have to do it again? Or maybe that's just what the kid was telling them. He said he had to save us again because we ran right back.
I think everyone's just gay. There's been a lot of gay characters in this. They're
Male and
becoming
female jails.
overcrowded.
Why would they be turned on by a monster that looks deformed?
Like how he's just sweating profusely.
He's got a huge monster cock. That's why. Monster Faggot's a great punk band name. 6 New Assholes, their first album.
Is that
Okay,
the
well, you
is
have a
that
double
the same
barrel,
guy
so-
as before?
Yeah, it's a guy who fought early on. They all shoot each other.
That's the flowers.
He gives them the fucking finger. His teeth were everywhere. They looked like chiclets.
Jesus. See that dude's muscles. Fuck.
Man, everyone's just horrible in this
Just
town.
rapists.
Yeah, they're constantly trying to rape this blind girl. What was she doing before Toxie showed up? Her day-to-day life is a fucking struggle.
It's just what every woman in America thinks.
Yeah,
life.
no, it's true. It's what every like liberal woman describes life as. It's constantly under the threat of rape everywhere they go.
just got the retard face on her.
Oh my god. Once again, like the kind of quick cutting is really.
Oh, I like it.
No, it's so funny. She has no idea that he's like.
Doesn't the Ding from Fantastic Four have a blind girlfriend?
Yes, I think so.
Oh
Yeah, the
my
thing.
god. I love they just commit to everything in this. They're like, yeah, he's gonna bang a blind chick.
They're
I
committing
can't
to
see.
they're committing to the full premise.
I mean, Pat, blind chicks need it too, man.
No, and she's hot too. That's the funny part. It's like this chick wouldn't have a hard time getting a man, and she's like, I just haven't been with a man in so long.
Oh, I'll never get a man, and I'm blind.
Melvin, you're so beautiful. Yeah, a chick like
He's
she's just throwing the eggshells in the pan. That's so funny. Well, kind of subtly, Toxie starts to become a more likable character. Like Melvin, you don't really know, and then it's kind of a little while he's a monster, but then more as this goes on, he kind of the sweetness starts to sneak in a little bit. It gets a little bit more levity. I know we're getting some of that stepdad internet.
Oh.
Okay, it seemed to stop lagging there.
Oh, okay.
Well, never mind. Hold on. Okay, it's playing now.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes, now it was.
Okay.
I actually think this is kind of sweet.
Oh, it is. But it's like a self-aware like this is
Yeah, this is
crazy.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like it's definitely a subversion of what you'd expect.
Well, there's like tropes of like a girl loving a monster in like literature and classic stories.
That's a
so
good
it's-
point.
It's
Like
kind of
Beauty
a
and the
pla-
Beast.
Yeah, it's kind of a play on that a little bit, like Beauty's in the Eye of the Beholder.
It's just like normally, it's the kind of idea of this kind of movie being more leaning more into horror would kind of be ingrained in most movie audiences.
Well, I think part of the theme of it is that Melvin himself like was an outcast and freak, and then the outside really reflects that more. But then he becomes more accepting of himself once he gets powers.
I think she's gonna remember your face, dude.
Yeah, I don't think you. I think the drawing of he's gonna come up pretty clear. Of sorry, Matt. Well, I love the voice. I think the voice is one of the funniest things about the Toxic Avenger. Is that
Ruined his rep, bro. It's over for him. Paddy wagon's down the street as we speak.
I mean, Toxie has a good point. These are just psychopathic killers that run over people for fun. So
Oh no, I think he's kind of justified, personally.
yeah, I get where he's coming from. Where he's like, I gotta take care of these fucking bastards.
Yeah.
I just love that he kills women, though. He doesn't give a shit. Equal opportunist. Well, kind
Yeah,
of
this is a very it's a very feminist movie, yeah.
Well, it's like these would be like girls running from a villain in sub stories, but in his story, it's like, well, no, they're the bad people.
Yeah.
The monster's the good guy.
This will teach you to run over children, you cunt! Ah!
Yeah. Just running from the corridors in the fucking
Yeah,
Nostromo.
you're rooting for him. You gotta root.
Yeah, get her, Toxie. You show that bitch.
I'm gonna lock it from the inside.
I gotta say, those 4.1% loggers or 4.2%, they didn't do much. Unfortunate. They tasted good, though. I was trying to get buzzed enough to forget how much I paid for that Sbarro. That's gonna sting.
Well, the Sbarro, you ate too much.
Yeah, I think it absorbed all the alcohol. That was the problem.
Exactly.
I thought, I go, fuck, this is like, that's what you eat before you go to get shit-faced at a bar, and you're going to drink a lot so you can absorb some of it so you don't get hungover. But I ate too much carbs, so it's like the alcohol just got absorbed.
Yeah.
It's that fucking rule. What's his
So
name?
Sbarro strikes again.
Is it true that you get more alcohol affects you more if you haven't eaten yet?
100%. No question. If you
Yeah.
want to get really drunk, have a completely empty stomach and drink a lot, and you'll get fucked.
I don't think I've ever gotten drunk. I have gotten tipsy one time.
Yeah, if you eat like a lot of like if you eat like a big sandwich or pizza or carb foods or pasta, that absorbs the stuff a lot more. Burger, so that's why it's a lot of bar foods like that. Because even if you're already buzzed, that stuff can help sober you up
Oh yeah.
if you're out drinking.
Well, everything's really salty at the bar.
But
Oh my god! I just forget how evil these guys are.
yeah,
Well,
no,
like
yeah,
one time I got tipsy was on a St. Patrick's Day.
that's a good day to do it.
Well, it wasn't like I was trying to. It's just
Right.
it was like might have been two of these like bigger drinks, and I basically got tipsy where I was like kind of laughing.
I'm gonna take a
Well,
guess
first
that out of
I
the
get
group.
First, I get very talkative, more so than even usual, and then
Oh,
Oh,
I,
shit.
I like giggle.
I'm gonna guess to the group of here, of the five of us,
Oh.
in ranking of who's been drunk the most in their lives. Destroy is number one. There's no question. I'm two.
I heard that giggle.
I'm two just by age. Slav 3 drag fit.
I drank a lot in my before I turned
definitely-
21. I drank a lot.
Yeah, but you
I
can't
kind of stopped after that.
Yeah, you can't catch up to two guys that are like 10 years on you.
No, I'm not saying I didn't. I'm just saying
No,
I've been
but
drunk a fair share of
Destroya
typically
has to be number
reserved.
one.
I tend to be very reserved when I have a beer.
Like, I'd assume
Like,
Destroya
I'll
gets
have 2
drunk at
cans at
least,
most.
has gotten drunk at least monthly since he was like 14.
Oh,
That's how I picture
that's
him.
not even legal age.
You think that stops people?
Yeah, I first
Oh,
drank
shit.
when I was like a teenager. This is pretty badass with the cargo and everything.
This is Mad Max, bro. Look at this shit.
I like Destroya didn't even deny it. He's just like, yeah,
He just giggled. He's just like, yeah.
I'm drunk right now.
Kisses him.
You're trapped in here with me. Don't fuck with Melvin.
Go Melvin, dude.
Slav, I love we're getting that era with you as a movie buff. I'm like, all right, we're not watching any more of that art shit. We're watching shit like Bloodsport and Toxic Avenger.
I just kind of skipped that.
Yeah, this is the era we're in. Like, we're in the... You gotta watch the B movies.
Oh shit, it's lagging again.
It's not
Not
for
for
me,
me.
and I'm the one recording, so it doesn't matter, so fuck off. But... I just,
Would
your shit don't
Toxic
matter.
would Toxie basically be Rorschach before you went insane?
Yeah, it is funny. There really is like a... You could see a comic book of... I'm sure they did make a comic eventually, but this does have a comic, 80s comic sensibility.
This is its own world, and whoever made this is an auteur.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that way about it. I feel like this does create a world. This creates the Troma universe.
Mm-hmm.
And a certain kind of aesthetic and tone.
So if this was before James Gunn came on,
Jeez,
when did he come on, Tromo?
Tromeo and Juliet, I think, and then he might have worked on something before that. I think in the 90s is when he started working there, later 90s.
You sure they made this for 100,000?
I think. I could be wrong. I think it was only 100,000. I know it was nothing. It wasn't $1 million. It might have been 200,000. I'm not sure, but I know it was very low budget.
Like they're just throwing cars off cliffs
Well, you
now.
gotta think it's 100. It's 100 grand in like 1986. So that's not,
true.
That's not 100
That's
grand now.
Jesus.
That might be like $500,000 now. So.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no laws back then about the shit you could do. They probably just fucking blew a car up and didn't have any regulations.
We're gonna go up to Mount Point. And we're gonna blow up a car.
I mean, if John Landis can kill 2 Vietnamese children of Vic Morrow, I think he can get away with the shit in this movie.
Yeah. It just survives. I like that logic. Oh, there we go. So this is like just Tusk, right? This is Tusk's
Yeah,
life.
this is the thing what Kevin Smith was trying to do where he failed. You know, it's like I get what he was trying to do with Tusk. Like, oh, I'm trying to make these kind of movies, but I know you were talking about your friend Tusk, but
So
but
are you
like
saying
people try to do this and fail. Like they try to make these movies like this now. Like, oh, it's gonna be so bad, it's good. It's gonna be. I've been to so many film festivals, and they just don't. They don't capture it because it doesn't have that authenticity that this kind of stuff did at a time. You really can't recreate what this stuff was.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just the aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah, or the
Yeah,
vibe
it's-
of it and everything. It's so unique to a certain time in movies.
Ooh.
You can't capture that kind of acting or that kind of the weirdness of it.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's this little person.
wait, why is he after her?
I honestly don't know.
Well, he's toxic sometimes.
That's an insane
Oh, that was
shot.
cool.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
actually
cool.
a pretty cool shot. Her little shaking. Hey, let me go, buddy.
Well, like, what did she do to him?
Oh my god, he's racist too. Oh my god. I mean, that's the stuff that's amazing. Like, he's gonna wash her.
Wait, was this another person who wronged him in the past?
I don't remember her doing it, but I guess she did.
Because
Or
he
he
said
just-
something like "no tiki, no washi," as if it was like a payback. Ironic callback.
It's a cutscene.
That would be funny. They just it's nothing in the movie to explain. I'm sure there was something we just missed in the first part.
It's like Superman.
Unless there's an evil toxic Avenger, maybe that's what happened.
Maybe.
There is one of the movies where he does have an evil clone. I think that's the fourth one, Toxic Citizen, where he gets like an evil clone of himself.
The
And then-
lore. The lore runs
Oh,
deep.
there is lore. Yeah, there's like 6 of these.
Oh.
I'm sure that's a joke.
Sergeant Kabuki Man shows up too. He's really funny. He's a great like side character in the universe. Me and Chad always talk about Sergeant Kabuki Man.
Those flowers, that was neat. That's a neat little touch. That's...
Melvin. No, they just live out in the fucking like nowhere in a shack.
Well, she doesn't know.
Yeah, because
That's
I
not
can't
like she's-
remember. I haven't seen this in so long. It's hard to remember things. It's been like
You didn't say anything.
everything is wrong. It's gonna be my new response if something is wrong.
Mine's just gonna be we need to send 10 billion to Israel.
Oh, I guess he just did it because he can't control himself. It's part of who.
I just started beating up midgets.
Yeah, I just hate little
Goodness,
people.
even how his voice sounds more manly than it did before the mutation.
Right.
Like,
We could try it.
like he sounds
Yeah,
like
he looks like the
he
thing.
sounds like a British guy, like
He literally had
some
the
British
trench coat.
noble guy.
He had the trench coat and the hat. That was cool.
We could try it, Sarah. Yeah, he's like a
Like,
ninja
it's
turtle.
funny, he
It's like, I
seems
can
small.
tell you're a turtle.
Like he seemed a lot more articulate as like a deformed mutant monster than when he was normal.
No, that's the funny part. It's like he becomes more intelligent and super strong. He just. Well, the police are corrupt in this.
Mm-hmm.
That's been established. Nazi and fat guy.
He's always just sitting down or that face was awesome.
This fat guy's great. This chick here, like these women don't exist anymore. This is Stav, that comedian.
No.
That's actually a pretty great line. It's not a human
Mhm.
being, it's an it. You kill an it. All of these people are so unique looking. There's yet
Yeah.
to be one generic looking person in this
It's
lineup.
like in the background. It's like that.
Yeah, like every person is showing up is a
Every-
very odd looking person. This is the most normal looking person so far.
Yeah. They look like cartoon characters. It's great.
Yeah, no,
It looks like a comic book.
It's yeah, for sure. It's a cartoon universe.
This is how you do cartoon logic, like live action, I believe. I think there's some that try to go for this. They just don't hit the mark at all. Or they go way too cartoony.
Yeah, there's a balance here. They're not going so over the top, but they're not also downplaying anything to make it like normal at any point.
Or it's like when they try to have like live action humans try to act like Looney Tunes characters,
Right.
or have that kind of logic, or they're not doing that at least.
Yeah, I think this ends with him and her on the farm, and them all showing up to kill them, and then they get accepted by the public or something, if I remember correctly.
Spoiler, Pat.
Sorry.
I was really invested in this. Now I can't watch anymore.
You're like, oh, I'm turning this off. Fuck your recording. Please rewind. Movie nights are now officially over because Slav's an asshole.
like the kid's hat's sideways. Funny.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a kid wear a hat like that either in the modern days. Like a
yeah,
newsy-
it's the 80s. Like, what the
Hello,
fuck?
sir. You want a newspaper?
Yeah, extra, motherfucker.
It's like we want some chocolate ice cream on a cone.
Oh, you already had the pizza today, Pat.
No, I know. I'm like, I was telling Destroyer before we got on here. It's like, I'm not 21 anymore. This is dangerous. I'm eating pizza, carbs, drinking beer. It's like, this is a big night for me. It's like, woo.
Most exciting night in 3 years.
Yeah, this is pretty. This used to be like every weekend.
Hey, look, it's Scorsese. What's he doing in this movie?
Yeah, he has a cameo. Hey, so what do we think? What we got to get this toxic guy?
You know, in all seriousness, Martin does have a role in Shark Tale.
Yeah, no, Scorsese will do anything for money.
He's got a bimbo with him.
And she's wearing a bikini. I do like she's just chilling in a bikini out in this fucking field, like in a tent. Yeah, a tent's one of those things like a bathtub. You're like, oh, it'd be so hot to have sex in a tent. And then you're in a tent, you're just on the ground, and you're like,
Oh, it's awful.
And it's hot.
Yeah.
You're covered
With a
in
bunch of rocks on the
sweat.
ground.
Yeah, no, I remember the first time I had sex in a tent, it was terrible. And then the first time in a pool, it's like, oh, well, there's no friction here. It's just water. And you're like, this is awful. And you're like,
That's what it was. Yeah, in the shower, it's like that.
yeah, no, movies lie to you. Elaine was right about the English Patient, where she's like, that's not how it works. Like, you think you're like, no, sex doesn't work. It's not fun to have sex in water. It's not fun to have, like, sex on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out having sex in a bed's pretty good. With a mattress.
Well, you need it's not to get too graphic here, but you need like something slimy that doesn't have friction.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing you don't I never thought about it with the water without the friction. It's like, oh, this just feels weird.
Yeah.
Every time you're like, oh, we'll have sex in the bathtub, and it's like, this is not working.
It's like
And then there's
anal
no
without
room
lube.
either, too. Like, just two adults in a
Oh, yeah.
bathtub, and you're like, what the fuck? I think I have Scarface's bathtub. Like, I have a normal person's bathtub. This isn't working at all. There's no way we could fit in this fucking thing.
Yeah. But there goes our romantic night.
No, it's funny because in your head it's like the hottest thing ever. You're like, oh my god, bathtub, bubble bath sex with the candles and shit. You're like, this would be great. And it's like, this doesn't work at all.
It's like, oh, I got back problems. Fuck. It's like, hey, Slav, like, why do you have back problems today? What's going on? It's
a
lifting
beach,
something.
a beach too. You get like
Just
sand up your ass crack.
That makes me think of that SNL sketch with Will Ferrell in the hot tub.
Hello, lover.
It's like this random girl in the background.
Really?
And he's acting all
I just realized,
lovey-dovey
Pat, they have
with his...
taste in this movie, Pat.
I mean, that $100,000 went a long way.
I guess so.
I'm gonna look it
Hi,
up.
so
I'm gonna
we're
see what the
paying
budget is.
1986.
I'm gonna Google that right now while we're watching this and see.
It's a $100,000 movie. They bring out tanks, there's explosions and everything.
Why does a town even have tanks?
I'm like, it's so
What was the
unfair. It's like,
budget for the Toxic
just-
Avenger.
it's like you just hear Ridley and all them in like interviews
Oh.
say it was hard to make a movie back then.
Okay,
it's like,
so-
was it really?
So it was 500,000.
Okay.
So they had a bit more money than I thought. So it was $500,000 in 1984. Oh, this actually came out the same year as Revenge of the Nerds. This came out earlier than I thought. So that's not a bad budget for 1984. They actually had I think they cost more than Friday 13th did. Okay, so that makes more sense.
They're on a farm. It's just
This movie has 70% on Rotten Tomatoes.
it's just a little acre of land.
As what on percent?
70% on Rotten Tomatoes.
They're all wrong. It should be 100.
That's honestly not a bad rating, but in 1975, Lloyd Kaufman had the idea to shoot a horror film involving a health club while serving as the pre-production supervisor on the set of Rocky. Years later at the Cannes Film Festival, Kaufman read an article that stated monster movies were no longer popular, so he decided to produce his own take on one based on his idea. It was given the original working title of Health Club Horror and eventually retitled to The Toxic Avenger. That's funny. They shot this in New Jersey, and the truck scene that we talked about that was inspired by Mad Max 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 500 grand. Because I remember hearing that the budget was up. I don't know why I thought 100 grand. 500 grand makes more sense. 'Cause it has a
Just
little
like
bit
a
too much
little bit.
production value.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, with the makeup effects and all the extras and the.
The tanks. The
I mean,
car
it looks like
exploding.
they're just scratching that budget as most as they can.
Yeah, that is true.
I think you could have made maybe a little bit of a better movie with 500,000, like some ways, but they're just like they threw it at certain things. What is the kid
What's the
doing?
kid doing?
Yeah, that kid's got autism. As I said, people love Toxie. He becomes a
It's okay,
hero.
Aunt May. Dude, it's like Spider-Man. That's Kingpin right there.
I've fallen in love with his beautiful eyes.
It's all in the eyes, man. Windows to the soul. She's just a fucking... Miss, dumbass. That'd be funny if he missed. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love this. This is my kind of cutting. Wrap it all around. I'm too fat to die.
Too fat.
We need to watch the.
Yo!
We need to watch the story of Ricky sometime. The story of Ricky is
that's-
amazing. There's
That's
a part where a
awesome.
guy's fighting and his like guts keep coming out. One guy says, "You got a lot of guts, Oscar."
Yeah, let's go.
Toxie taking care of business. Man, we get a love story, a town acceptance, a monster movie, a superhero
comedy.
movie, a comedy. You get a little bit of everything in the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, this is making a movie for everyone.
Yeah, it really hits like a multi-demographic.
Yeah, like it's for gay people, so it's gay cinema too.
I'm blown away. This is 84. I thought it was way later, and that's crazy. I didn't realize it was that early.
So Melvin, the monster hero, rid Tromaville of all of its evil. So the good citizens.
That's a great shot. It's very like 70s.
And the next time you're in danger or in need of help, look to the horizon and maybe
Just maybe. The Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger will be there.
Yo, let's go.
Sometimes at the end of that room, there's a monster in it.
If I could rate this a 0, I would. It was horrible, very cheesy and dumb, not funny at all. I'm gonna report this guy.
Yeah, you should.
Report him to ICE. He gets deported.
Yeah.
This was not funny at all. I hate it.
It's
Wait,
not
what?
funny. I not like movie.
there's no Mexican in it.
They have the taco place with samurai swords.
Yeah, that make no sense.
One of the worst films of the 1980s. This inspired production, most likely off the success of the Goonies, and the sloth character uses extreme violence and sexuality to paint an over-the-top portrayal of America. I'm not sure how many people tries, but the final product is like can't be joyride of gore, homophobia, and fantastic comparisons. To the U.S.
Is it
Wow.
fantastic or fascistic?
Oh, it is fascistic.
Fascistic comparisons to the U.S. See, it's got social commentary.
But he gave it a 1 star.
The Blu-ray version of this is very clear and sounds great. It made fun.
There we go.
And crazy horror classic even that much better.
Helpful.
I got his figurine for my 12th birthday, and super goals and goes, Lloyd is forever part of my life. That's the thing about Troma and Lloyd Kaufman. There was a whole following. Like, there was Troma people, because it was all, like, pretty much you rented straight to video. These movies didn't make money in the theater. It was all about, like, making money. Because I think that's where this made money. I think this ended up making, like, a few $1 million on home video in the 80s, and then that's kind of what built Troma.
You definitely can't do that now.
Goonies
Physical mark.
Yeah, that guy was wrong.
market,
He said inspired by fucking
not relevant
Goonies. This came
anymore.
out
Yeah, I was about to
before
say
Goonies.
this is 85. Yeah,
Fuck
it
that
came out in
guy.
84. Idiot.
Dumbass. Goonies ripped off Toxic Avenger.
Hell yeah.
You will
By
laugh,
far-
cry, and hurl. That sounds like a line from Wayne's World. This is truly the superhero we need and want.
Amen. The Japanese version is great to have. The DVD is 6.9 enhanced. My only complaint is the print is a little on the dark side. Okay.
Yeah, I need the Japanese version. I didn't know how essential that was.
Imagine that, dude. Like, you have them speaking Japanese, but it's in subtitles. It's like an anime.
Yeah, I see a lot of these reviews or stuff like this. Like, this is one of those movies that's so stupid and corny, it's funny. Who cares about the plot? Who cares about the poor acting? The violence and crude humor more than makes up for it. The head-crushing scene is awesome. And I don't disagree with that, but I do. That's the thing. I think a lot of people miss the point. I think they think of it as like, oh, this is a really bad movie, and that's what makes it good. And it's like, well, no, they know what they're doing throughout the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
They're not
The
failing in
head-crushing.
making a bad movie.
There's 2 of them.
This doesn't work. Can't watch movie. Well, at least he gave it 2 stars.
That's fair if your disc doesn't work. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Simply
Yeah.
put, super low budget movie that was made with pocket money. LOL. Super
$500,000.
racist hoodlums, normal for the time of release. So in today's current social problems, many might find this movie untasteful and racist. Trashy gore, sleazy scenes, and pretty much no acting chops by anyone with spoken dialogue. A tribute to days long past. Watch it for historical reasons, and maybe if you can handle the super cheese, give it once over for yourself. I like how he's acting like the authority, like, hey, it sucks, but you should give it a chance for yourself.
A lot of people on the internet do that.
Oh, yeah.
This
they're
guy,
the
right?
hard
This
right.
is-
themselves
this
as
is-
authority.
This is the guy who rated that right there.
No, zoom in on it.
I'm going to TikTok. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yo, there he is.
I own the Toxic Avenger, and I've seen it 5 times. 1 star.
Oh man, that was fun.
But watch it for yourself.
Go watch. Yeah.
All right, so what are we giving this? Let's wrap this up. 1 out of 5 stars. Dragon. Go.
I kind of don't know what to rate it at.
All right, Destroyer. 1 out of 5 stars.
It's probably like a 2.5 or 3.
Okay, Slav. 1 out of 5.
Hey, 3.5. For back then, that was great. Loved it.
I think the 3.5 or 3 is fair, but I also think a 2.5 is fair. I'm gonna go high on this. I'm giving this shit 4 stars.
Let's go.
4 out of 5. All right, thank you everybody for listening to Please Rewind Watches a Movie. We'll see you for our next great adventure where we have more hilarious commentary and fun interactions for the audience. Please like and subscribe and smash that like button.